Coming to paperback and e-readers everywhere, East-themed horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a wicked werewoman in this action-packed, all-new East-themed series adventure. Pre-order your copy of East-themed horror of the Hyena Woman on Amazon.com today.
The publishers of Sigma Comics sent me a review copy of Here Comes Calico. And I really want to thank the publishers of Sigma Comics for sending me a complimentary copy of Here Comes Calico in the mail. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to send me a paper copy complete with a bag and a backing board. And Here Comes Calico number 4 is one comic you definitely want in your collection. Now, this Calico character goes out and fights all of these bad guys who abuse animals, and it really puts a spotlight on some of the most evil people out here, like your dog fighters, because these are the kind of people, if they would go out here and abuse an animal, they would definitely kill a human being. And your Calico goes out here and metes out justice on these deadly predators. Now, your Calico in this 4th issue looks like he's stuck in a situation with a very dangerous character on the cover. And this cover really is a strong one that really pops, and I really love the design of this villain, who reminds me a lot of the old school Daredevil villain, Mr. Fear. And his design is extremely menacing and extremely well done. The visuals on this costume of this villain just really pop, and I could easily see both Calico and this villain as action figures in a line similar to Marvel Legends. So the guys at Loose Collector, they definitely could possibly turn these guys into action figures, and I would urge them to get in contact with Sigma Comics about trying to make these characters into action figures in the future. Now, this 4th issue of Here Comes Calico is an entry point to a new storyline, because the previous storyline concluded in issue number 3 when Calico meted out some justice on these dog fighters. Now, what I really like about this 4th issue of Here Comes Calico is that while it starts a new story arc, it builds on the existing story arc and also is a good entry point for a new reader. So if you never knew about the story of Hector Gill, you're going to be able to come right into this comic and get to know who Hector Gill is, what he wants to do, and why you should care in just about under 3 pages, because we get a quick recap of Hector Gill's origin as related to becoming Calico when he's recruited by the sister from the church, and she goes out here and recruits him on these first 3 pages to help them in their cause. Now, the art on Here Comes Calico really pops, and I really like the coloring process that is done on these pages. I mean, to say that this is just these pages are newsprint, it shows us how this technology can really make these kind of comics really just stand out, and you can get this comic really put together in a very fantastic fashion for a very low price. So I really love seeing that they're using, again, new school technology with old school comic printing, and it all comes together very nicely for a comic that really just pops off the page. So this first couple of pages introduces us to your Hector's origin and to becoming Calico, and then we see us in the present day with Calico going on a mission on the first page over here, and then on the next page we see these mobsters going out here talking about how Calico busted up their operation, and then we get a little foreshadowing with the Mr. Fear type villain in the background. So it looks like they're setting up your stash, and this ODB are setting up to take down your Calico, and the storyline starts to build up as things go along. So as things are going along, we get another subplot, which reminds me of the John Romita Jr. and Nocenti Daredevil, where we got this wrestler who gets kicked off the bus, and he's in the street with a bunch of with things going on, and they're looking like they're getting ready to set stuff up. But as they're doing that, your Calico is on his mission, going out here looking into a guy who's out here doing things that are reprehensible to a dog, and he's out here scouting things out and waiting to see how things go. So as this is going on, we have some other subplots going on with people outside of a window, and then we've got this old wrestler who is now a janitor, and he's being called up for some sort of mission. But I don't want to give away too much of the subplot because the story here is really good. But I'll show you a quick picture of Calico's suit and all of its operations, because we get this in the middle of the book in a really well done double page spread splash that really showcases all of the features of Calico's suit. So this whole issue, while it starts a new story arc, also builds on an existing one, and that is what good comic storytelling is all about. While you go out here and have your story starting new, readers who read the old issues can come right in, but new readers can come in and feel comfortable about going back to pick up the back issues and anticipating the next issue. So the craftsmanship on the storytelling here is exceptionally well done, and the artwork is absolutely well done here. Now, there was a couple of pages where I got a little confused towards the end, but after I read the book for a second time, I started to figure things out. And this whole book, again, it's one of the best comics I've read this year. And again, this book really so much reminds me of the old school Daredevil books, whether like in the third issue, it reminded me a lot of the Gene Colan era Daredevil. And this one reminded me a lot of the Ann Nocenti, John Romita Jr. Daredevil. And when I look at this character, there's a lot that I love about this character. I love that he goes to different parts of New York City that I'm well familiar with, like Woodlawn and parts of the Bronx. And I like the fact that he goes out here and is all over the city trying to do what he can to help out those animals and protect them from those who would take advantage of them. I can highly recommend you go out here and pick up the next issue of Here Comes Calico on the Sigma Comics website. This book is very well done. The artwork is top notch. The coloring really pops, and it feels like an old school. While it has new school technology, it feels like an old school comic straight out of the 80s. The paper feels like something I would get back at the grocery store or the newsstand in Times Square. And this comic was great because it gives you the best of the modern comic, but it also gives you that feel of an old school comic. I mean, Here Comes Calico is exceptionally well done, and I would, again, have no problem sharing this comic with people on the street, and that's why I'm sharing it with all of you readers. And I want you guys to go out here and pick up a copy of Here Comes Calico, because it's one of the best books on the market right now. Now, my current comic, John Haynes at Death's Door, Antonio Balderi is cleaning up some of the early pages that he sketched out, and he's working on the cover as we speak. So I'm hoping to get John Haynes at Death's Door to you sooner rather than later. But until then, you can pick up my first comic, E-Steam No Good Deed, on Kindle for 99 cents. And you can also pick up the books of the SJS Direct Universe in prose and paperback and Kindle format, such as the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, and the John Hayes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy in paperback and Kindle format on Amazon.com right now. And if you want to see me make more comic review videos, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Coming to paperback and e-readers, ISIS Legacy. The sorority secrets from the goddess next door are revealed in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Pre-order your copy of ISIS Legacy on Amazon.com today.